Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this guide for Lingsha, I'll cover her best relics, Lightcones, team composition, rotations, pros and cons, and whether she's worth pulling. Sit back and relax, and if you find this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.
Do you have a character or Lightcone in the game that you really want, but you don't have enough StellarJades? Fortunately, lootbar.gg allows you to buy StellarJades at a discounted rate for all regions. Lootbar is one of the fastest and most reliable recharging platform with attractive discount rates. For an example, I will buy the 1980 StellarJade package for $26.40, which otherwise would have cost me $29.99, saving me a total of 20%. And also new users get an additional 5% off. To purchase, simply enter your UID and region and to receive your package in less than 30 minutes. All recharges are done through the official channel with MiHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Now you will be ready to get your favorite characters. Check the link in the description and pinned comment to get the amazing discounts.
I won't delve into her abilities since I assume everyone knows how she works. For an overview, Lingsha has the fire element and follows the path of abundance. She's an FUA healer plus sub DPS break unit if you're running her with Harmony MC. Plus, she does a ton of attacks, giving her usability in other team comps like Feixiao or future units. For Eidolons, here are the DPS numbers, but this is only relevant if you're running a break team with Harmony MC. Her S1 lets you have an easier time to build Lingsha, but E1 gives higher personal break DPS output. For Firefly, the DPS difference is less than 1%. But for non-break teams, S1 is way better than her E1, as her E1 defense reduction only happens when the enemy has their weakness broken. Overall, her Eidolons or signature Lightcone aren't worth it. It would have been better for you to pull an E2S0 Firefly or just save your pulls. For Feixiao teams, go for this order: Robin E1, Feixiao's signature Lightcone, or just pull for another unit. Building Feixiao. Body, outgoing healing, attack percent, and defensive main stats are good. Boots, speed only. For non-break teams, go for your preferred speed breakpoint. Running hyperspeed is ideal for Feixiao, but it's near impossible for most players even with double 6% speed relic bonus. Going for 134 speed is fine if you're running Robin. For min-max players, I do recommend 142.85 speed or 145.45 due to pure fiction, but hitting those speed breakpoints are really hard, so it would be fine to get lesser break effect. Since Lingsha isn't going to deal much damage when you're running her outside of a break team, but make sure to go for an outgoing healing body if your break effect is at 150%. For break teams, aim for a minimum of 200% break effect in battle with buffs, which is around 135% B before battle. After that, go your preferred speed breakpoints 145.45. It's definitely possible to hit hyperspeed with 200% plus break effect and 160 speed with HMC and Wan Mei, but this is only for min-maxers as it's still hard to aim for. An E0S0 Firefly takes an average of 2 cycle clears. Benefit of going for more than 200% break effect is that you will have a way easier time to zero clear the first wave of MOC. And more speed equals skill points and faster breaks. Relic Set with Feixiao running rainbow sets is totally fine. For break teams, if you're trying to go for hyperspeed on Lingsha, running Iron Cavalry is actually really hard. Personally, for break teams, I would recommend slapping on mixed sets or 2-piece bonus with Rainbow. Since the DPS loss is only around 10% plus, substats can offset the DPS loss. Planar Ornament. Rope, Energy Regen, but if running ER Lightcones that can get 3-turn ultimate, go for break effect instead. Orb. Go for attack percent over defensive stats unless they have way more speed and break effect. It's highly preferred to have either 1 attack percent or outgoing healing main stat. For Planar Sets, if you're running Firefly, Lantern is the best in slot. If you're running standard DPS units, going for support sets is better, but you may also use rainbow sets. Here are the updated numbers for support sets on Feixiao and Firefly. Overall, it's not worth running the new support set on Firefly since it's only a 12% attack increase. Going for more break effect on Lingsha will yield you more DPS. If you're running dual DPS units, it's still better to stick with Broken Keel or Ageless. Moving on to her Lightcones. The worst options are Hey Over There, Perfect Timing, and Bailu's LC has the highest healing output, where you don't have to run an outgoing healing body. Multiplication is actually decent only if you're running Feixiao, but requires very heavy relic investment. These LC are only for non-break teams. At second place, Huahua LC relies on RNG to get 3-turn ultimate, hence it's the weakest one out of all. Quid pro quo is best if you're running Robin. What is real gives higher survivability and it's free. Luocha Sig LC and post OPS 5 allows you to run Break Effect Rope instead of Energy Regen, especially good if you have better substats on Break Effect main stat. At first place, it's Lingsha's signature LC. Increases wearer's break effect by 60% and inflicts enemies with 18% more damage taken. Honestly, it's a good light cone, but it's pretty mid, similar value to Sparkle's signature light cone, but it's definitely more universal. But please don't pull for this light cone just to slap it on Gallagher. Here are the DPS and healing output calculations. Overall, players shouldn't pull for Lingsha's signature LC. What is real is a really good F2P option, and the gap isn't that huge. For the light cone rankings, they're honestly all equal. It all depends on the substat for Energy Regen or Break Effect Rope, where one may be slightly better than the other. But it won't guarantee you that you can clear one cycle faster. For her team composition and rotations, her best team would be with Firefly, of course. Lingsha is really good with Firefly because she has the fire element and most of her kit does AoE damage. You may also use her for any break teams, but Lingsha would have lesser value. You could run Lingsha as a main break carry with Gallagher, but I don't see the point. It would be better to have March Hunt being the main break DPS. For an update on Feixiao or Topaz team, Mosey 2 has that 40% bonus crit DMG buff for all allies, where now you could run him even with Hunt March, but the DPS is still the weakest. For more team comps, take a look at my Feixiao guide instead. For Gallagher versus Lingsha, even at single target, Lingsha is better, but the difference isn't that huge. The main benefits from Lingsha are faster breaks, way higher AoE DMG and sustain, especially with new enemy bosses having rapid attacks, where Gallagher can't keep up with the sustain anymore without using his skill, or even with it your team would just die. Plus, most players aren't running defensive main stat on Wan Mei and HMC to hit higher break effect and speed breakpoints. Plus, Lingsha is also great for pure fiction. But would you have any faster cycle clears for MOC compared to Gallagher? Probably not if you don't make any mistakes for an E0S0 Firefly, but if you play casually, it would take you 27 cycles, where Lingsha will make it easier for Firefly to 2-cycle clear instead. Pros: triple S tier for break teams, 2-in-1 healer and sub DPS unit for break teams, low SS tier outside of break teams, break and FUA sustain. You don't have to worry about Firefly dying compared to running Gallagher. Great in MOC and pure fiction. Eidolons and signature light cone aren't needed. Has potential with new DPS archetype units in the future. Cons: limited to break or FUA teams currently. Most players don't need an upgrade from Gallagher. May not have any cycle clear difference for Firefly compared to Gallagher. Should you pull? If you're a Firefly main, yes. I don't see why not unless you're satisfied with Gallagher. If you're pulling for Feixiao but skipping both Topaz and Aventurine, yes. If you don't like her design, no. Overall, I would rate her a 9 out of 10 for break teams. She's certainly an upgrade over Gallagher. For Feixiao teams, well, Aventurine would still be 10 out of 10 without Topaz, so it would be an 8 out of 10 for Lingsha. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on whether you're pulling for her. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, it really helps out a ton. And that's it for this guide.